if you knew this. It was a couple years before you were born. But Luke Fickell got to Ohio State my last year that I played for Ohio State in 1992.
The battle for Paul Bunyan's axe is off and running, and this is a dangerous return man in Coy Parrish, stretching to the edge, but great coverage from Wisconsin to take him down to the 20, and that's where Minnesota's drive starts with redshirt freshman quarterback Drake Lindsey, who P.J. Fleck referred to last year in his redshirt season as the future. Threw for 264 and 4 touchdowns last week against Northwestern. That did come in a 3-point loss. He looks to throw in the opening play of the day, slings it to the sideline. That's Lemeki Brockington with the catch.
Got some tight ends with Walsh and Bierman that can be targets as well in this weather.
Pickup of 5 on the first play of the day. It's another throw for Lindsey. It's caught. No, it's juggled and dropped. That's going to be part of the elements today.
Really come on here late in the season, and on the back end, Hallman and Young have been playmakers all year.
3rd and 5. To the sideline, that's Drew Bibber, the tight end. He pulls it in, and it's enough for a first down.
And of course, talk about the footing for the offensive player. Defensive players have problem reacting too.
Floats it over the top. Darius Taylor, the running back, who's a great pass catcher out of the backfield, is dropped by Cooper Catalano after another nice pickup on first down. There is a flag thrown.
Illegal substitution, 12 players on the field at the snap, defense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
First penalty of the day against Luke Fickell's team. A Wisconsin defense that's been so good in 2 of the last 3 weeks, that's led to top 25 wins with a 4th string quarterback playing. Fake the handoff, Lindsey to throw again. He's pressured, rolls right, tons of space in front of him, fires against his body, Javon Tracy, but it was knocked away at the last moment. It was a great job by Austin Brown, the safety who came in there and batted the football away, and now he's the one that's a little slow getting up, limping off the field. Finally, a run play. It's Darius Taylor with a patient run, surges across the 40. It's enough to move the chains.
On a completely dry field, this thing's got some heaters, but plenty of snow on the turf.
Lindsey takes the check down to Taylor, who swung to the ground at the 45.
It's just harder to make sharper cuts in general.
Jamison Gears, tight end, had a little bit of a juggle, but he pulls it in, and that's across midfield. It's another first down for Minnesota, who's doing a lot of damage through the air on this first drive.
Yeah, they certainly are, and Greg Harbaugh, the offensive coordinator, really doing a nice job mixing things up. I mean, hitting the edges.
Taylor with a stutter step. Wisconsin's defense is there. It's a short gain of just about 2 yards.
Yeah, hitting the edges, taking the chances with Drake Lindsey. The pass rush can get affected by these types of conditions. You just don't have the footing that you normally would, and this is a normally stout Wisconsin defensive front that can get after quarterbacks and get into opposing backfields. Just really hard to get a good start, especially with those big bodies.
Give to Taylor again. The run defense is stout here for Wisconsin. Stops him for just 1 yard. It's the linebackers Catalano and Posa combining for the stop.
Wisconsin, nice job forcing a 3rd and long situation.
Posa's dad was also a 3-time All-American wrestler in college too, so came through the genes. 3rd and 8. Lindsey looking to throw to the far side of the field. It's incomplete. Wanted Brockington, but it was nowhere close. And after a couple first downs, the Minnesota drive stalls out.
Well, the pressure gets to Drake Lindsey that time, makes him throw that ball a little bit early, and I'm not so sure there wasn't some sort of miscommunication. I thought that he expected a flatter break from his receiving target there.
A 10-play drive that crosses midfield but ends up with no points as the punt unit comes on the field. It's Tom Weston to punt it for Minnesota. Tyrell Henry is back for the Badgers, inside his own 10.
Always have to watch the snaps in these kind of conditions.
Clean snap, get it away. Henry lets it fly out of bounds, and that is pinned inside the 10. 23 degrees, snowy. Wisconsin's first possession on offense starting inside their own 10. It's Darian Dupree. He is swarmed in the backfield. It's Devin Eastern who makes the stop for a loss of a couple.
Every game but one this year, they have at least 5 tackles for loss.
Top 10 in the country, more than 7 per game. Dupree with a stutter step. He jolts up the middle.
In between, you'll see him making tackles in between the tackles. Versatile player.
Empty backfield. It's the freshman quarterback, Carter Smith, sneaks through that defense of Minnesota, and it's enough to pick up a first down.
Going to be crucial if they walk away today with a victory.
Didn't take his first snap with the offense until the week leading up to his debut less than a month ago. Fakes the toss, flushed out of the pocket to the left, and he has to just get rid of the football. It's Anthony Smith who makes a living in the backfield, disrupting Smith.
There's just such a monumental leap in comfort that you have, but in conditions like this, you don't want to get too risky.
The 4 quarterbacks that they've used this season tied for the most in the nation. It's a 2nd and 10 out of the timeout. Oh, bad snap, hit the man in motion, it's loose. Looked like Minnesota jumped on it. Minnesota says they have it, and they do.
Gophers ball in the red zone.
John Nestor, who missed last week against Northwestern, back in the lineup today, is the one who falls on the football and gives the Gophers the ball just outside of the red zone. True freshman quarterback making just his 3rd start of his career. Calling for the snap at an inopportune time to force the fumble, and here come the Gophers. Play action. Lindsey rolling right, dumps it off, and it's incomplete. Looking for Brockington, just out of his reach. We'll keep it on the ground this time. Darius Taylor with a sidestep down to the 20 for 2 yards. It's Cooper Catalano, the linebacker, with already his 3rd tackle the first quarter.
But this defense, stout and here in a tough situation.
3rd and 8. Lindsey flips it out. That's Javon Tracy, who had such a big week last week with 3 touchdowns, but he's met immediately by Jameer Latimer. 38-yard attempt here for Brady Denneberg, who's hit from as long as 46 this season. It's a short kick. It might have got tipped, and it is no good. It's a Minnesota offense that took over at the 22 thanks to a turnover, but the Wisconsin defense with a phenomenal job to not allow any points, and now the offense takes over with a little bit of breathing room after their opening drive started inside the 10. Dupree in motion, 2 to the left side. Smith with a toss to his tight end, and he swung to the ground. That's Lance Mason after just a couple yards.
Danny Collins, the Minnesota defensive coordinator, said they'll run in 3rd and 9, let alone 3rd and 5.
It's a design run for Smith, the quarterback, who is spun down after a short pickup, and it's 4th down.
We talked about him, man, just an absolute playmaker, but no, Danny Collins did a nice job. Hey, we know what to expect from Carter Smith. He's going to try and run the football on 3rd down.
Now Parrish is back to return the punt. He is so good in every facet. Calls for a fair catch. Goes to the ground with it just outside of the 30.
But really, in watching him state championship when he played down there at Arkansas, they could really see the way that he threw with anticipation. PJ said that he's really just grown in that, really learning the position.
He tosses it to Ejiboy on the first play of this drive, and he follows a block out to the 35, which we can still barely tell underneath that pocket of snow. He will throw here on second down. Looking at the near sideline, Javon Tracy reels it in, and he's spun out of bounds just across the 40 by Deani Hill. Looks to throw again, zips it out to the near sideline. That's pulled in. It's the tight end for Minnesota who makes the catch, Frank Bierman.
That's a big ball. That's a long way down from the top.
Handoff, Ijiboy keeps those legs pushing. He's across midfield. It's another really nice run for Ijiboy in Minnesota.
3rd and short here. See if they can convert.
It's a snap to Taylor. He keeps the football. Direct snap with the running back. And that's enough for a first down.
Yeah, they do this with him in short yardage. They do it sometimes down in the red zone. And it's always good to have a running back with good balance, able to make some nice cuts.
Taylor lowers the shoulder, busts loose, but then he's ripped to the ground. 4-yard pickup for Darius Taylor.
Catalano and Poza. Catalano had 19 tackles against Washington. Just unreal.
Lindsey snaps it to the sideline. That's Malachi Coleman's first catch today.
Here we are again. 3rd and short, but you're really in that area where you probably have 2 downs to convert here.
3rd and 2. They're hoping they don't need a 4th down. Give Ijiboy pushed right up the middle, and he's stopped at the 37, which is the line to gain.
Oh, that's first down. They're moving him. Right foot, left foot spot. Well, we got one official saying 4th down. We had the official on our side saying first down, but
PJ Flex saying first down. Well, there they go. They're moving the chains. Start of the second quarter from Minneapolis. Noah Reed, Robert Smith with you. And Minnesota has the football in Wisconsin territory. Lindsey cannot shake free, and he's dropped in the backfield. And such a nice drive to this point for Minnesota, who's been really balanced, even through the elements, passing the football with Drake Lindsey a lot. It's a delayed handoff. Darius Taylor bouncing away from one, and he's dragged down from behind after he gets a couple of those yards back. It's Mason Posa, the true freshman, who's been great this season for the Badgers. 3rd and 12, just ahead of the 9th play of the drive here for the Gophers. Lindsey stepping up, escapes pressure, rolls right, directs traffic. Lindsey using the legs, and he's dragged out of bounds. That Wisconsin defense has been great. Once Minnesota's gotten it into plus territory, they've had stand after stand. They say with a freshman quarterback, they thought it might be a little bit of hold on, let's see what it's going to be in store for us, but he's been really great this season. And how about that punt from Tom Weston? Starting from their own 2, a handoff. That's Jackson Aker, a tight end slash fullback slash running back. They'll line him up everywhere, and he gives Wisconsin a little bit of breathing room with 2 yards.
You know what this offense likes to do? Misdirection. Watch for the quarterback keeper.
It's a handoff. Dupree. There it goes. Smith takes off, and Minnesota's defense knew it was coming. John Nestor off the edge with the stop, and the Gophers defense forces a 3-and-out. Already a fumble recovery, now a big tackle for loss on 3rd down by the cornerback John Nestor today. Very much welcomed to have him back in the lineup after he missed last week, and there is a flag, and this is going to back up Wisconsin even more.
False start. Offense number 46, half the distance to the goal, 4th down.
Really have to watch the snap here. Make sure it's clean.
Snap is clean. West gets it away. It's a really short punt off the side of his foot. Oh, Coy Parrish fell on the football, might have come out for a little bit, but he recovers it after just a 30-yard punt, and Minnesota gets to start this drive. Top 25, Washington and Illinois. in the span of 3 weeks. Play action from Lindsay. He faces some heat, lofts it to Taylor, the running back, who's such a great pass catcher out of the backfield, and he picks up a few more yards after the catch. 13 pass attempts today for Drake Lindsay, the freshman quarterback, who, when he saw the weather conditions this week, told his OC, Greg Harbaugh, I don't care about any of that. We're passing the football. He hands it off here, and it's 2 or 3 yards for Taylor. Minnesota has gotten the ball into Wisconsin territory on all 4 drives to open this game, but no points to show for it. Third medium. Give Taylor, patient run, bust through the seam, and he's dragged down inside the 20. 10 yards and a first down for Darius Taylor. Now Lindsay with great protection. Check down, Taylor again, lowers the shoulder and dives forward for a couple extra yards.
Was actually in the battle for Paul Bunyan's axe a year ago. I believe it was Brosmer that was saying that he heard that from Darius Taylor. And he hasn't been 100%. He's had some health issues on the season, but when he's in there, he's running hard.
Ejaboy, who replaces Taylor on this carry. 2 more yards. He's down to the 15. It's a 3rd and 6. Keep it on the ground with Ejaboy bouncing outside, and he's ripped to the ground. Brandon Lane Jr., the 6th-year grad from Kansas City, Missouri, with the stop.
Get that tackle for loss.
This is a 33-yard attempt for Denneberger. Had one from 38 blocked earlier today, but this one sails right through the middle and gives us the first points of the day. 3-0 Minnesota, late second quarter.
You know, we had Indiana week 1 against Old Dominion. They look a lot different now.
They certainly do. Ball goes through the back of the end zone, and the drive starts at the 25 here for Wisconsin.
And this offense, what they want to do, they want to play bully ball, they want to play smash mouth with a running quarterback. Minnesota defense so far rising up when they've needed to.
It's kept by the quarterback, Smith, the freshman, and he's taken down, but he just gets the football away for an incomplete pass.
Gets his eyes downfield right there. They would have been in business. He might still be running.
This is just his 4th pass attempt of the day. It's a completion on that far sideline, tiptoeing the sideline. And Vinny Anthony, the 2nd, with the grab.
Got to watch for those downfield opportunities. They don't come wide open the way they did a couple plays ago very often.
He's looking to throw again after a first down, launching it down the sideline. There's nobody there. Kekahuna was the nearest one, but it was well beyond his reach, and it's 2nd and 10 for the Badgers.
Kekahuna's going to go back to the huddle and be like, what's up, man? Did I say something wrong on the trip over? One of them was the pilot. It was going to be flying Wisconsin. I don't know. Maybe Kekahuna got into it with Carter Smith.
Dupree picks up a couple here.
He was committed to Michigan before Bryce Underwood committed.
4th string quarterback. They were not expecting him to have to play at all, but here he is in a rivalry game. Takes the crossing route, catch, Kekahuna stretching to the edge, and he's ripped out of bounds shy of the marker by Devin Williams.
Things look different post-snap than they do pre-snap because he has to make those decisions post-snap. Sometimes just confuses a young quarterback.
Another short punt, back-to-back for Wisconsin, and Minnesota once again will get great starting field position. Rivalry day, Paul Bunyan's axe, 135th all-time meeting on a snowy, cold day from the bank. Lindsay with protection, rolling left, zips it to the sideline, and that's pulled in near midfield.
Don't just stand in front of defenders, get on the move. Try and get yourself free.
Lindsay has completed 7 passes in a row. Not an easy day to be throwing the football. Takes the screen, far side. It's caught and dropped just across midfield. A 3rd and short coming up after Javon Tracy picks up 3.
And you call it, partner. I mean, you're calling some pretty good plays.
Yeah.
And you're getting some pretty good execution. If you have conditions like this, I know they're not 15, 20-yard throws downfield, but just catching the ball at all in these conditions consistently can be difficult, but got to be able to convert some of those third downs.
Yeah, haven't really seen any shots downfield, which you would kind of expect, but it's been a lot of checkdowns, some screens. See what they got on third down. It's a give. Taylor bursting through the seam, and Darius Taylor, one man to beat. Taylor, touchdown Minnesota.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Give me 6.
A great block from Pierce Walsh, the tight end, springs a 49-yard touchdown run for Darius Taylor. Back-to-back scoring drives for the Gophers, and they have opened up a 10-0 lead with 2:45 to go before halftime.
Defenders take those first few steps with that play action, with that eye candy, get out of position.
Wisconsin defense was so good the first 3 drives, stopping Minnesota in plus territory, not allowing points, but a field goal followed by a touchdown has the Badgers down 10-0, and with a true freshman quarterback, they've got to start piecing together something offensive. They used him in this situation last week, too, in the 2 minutes. Fakes the handoff, zips it out to the far sideline, and Kekahuna's ripped to the ground after a short pickup.
To pull them up and then hit it behind them.
Oh, high snap. Simmons was just able to gather it, and it's incomplete. That was a near disaster of a play for Wisconsin. 3rd and 6. Simmons looking right the whole way, lofts it into one open man. It's Vinny Anthony down the sideline. Stiff arms a defender. Anthony is just tracked down near the 5. A massive play on 3rd and 6 by the Badgers. And now Carter Smith, the starting quarterback, is back in the game with the ball inside the 5. Holds on to it, lunging towards the goal line, and he's short by about 2 yards.
Dupree into the end zone, lined up, pistol.
It'll happen after a timeout. Luke Fickell takes his 2nd of the half. Down 10-0, 1:14 before halftime, and this is about to be just the 2nd play all game for Wisconsin in Minnesota territory. Fake the handoff, Kekahuna on the catch, he's dragged down. John Nestor's been fantastic in the first half for the Gophers.
To 40 seconds, it was erroneously set to 25. 1:10 on the 40 on the play clock. Both will start on my signal.
We got big Tucker Ashcraft, the tight end, in the slot. Always a good matchup to look for that tight end. Big body. Bad matchup a lot of times for defenders.
3rd and goal. Dupree straight up the middle. He is stood up shy of the goal line. Offense stays on the field on 4th down. PJ Flex says, let's take a timeout. Tight end set in motion. Play action. Smith out on the edge. Looking, end zone. Caught. Was not in bounds. Incomplete. Wanted Jackson Aker as tight end, but the Minnesota defense gets a stop on 4th and goal.
Reviewing the play, the receiver had both toes inbounds, completed the process of the catch. Therefore, it is a touchdown.
Wow. Jackson Aker's first touchdown catch of the season was an incredible one on the sideline.
That's a big man getting it done right there. I mean, for his field awareness to understand, okay, wait a second, I can't step, my foot can't go out of bounds here. Like, he was so close to stepping out of bounds, but then to get that type of body control, to be able to pull that ball in and to keep his toes from going out of bounds, man, that's something special. From Madison, Wisconsin as well, Verona High School.
Extra point attempt for Vakos is there to pull it within 3 just before halftime.
things that we talk about, and there are things we don't talk about. We don't talk about 40-year-old, 50-year-old trophies automatically getting found.
This is Cam Davis just outside of the 15 on the return, and he's out near the 30. Drake Lindsay will take the knee and take us to halftime. What a fun first half. The battle for Paul Bunyan's axe. PJ Fleck's team's got a 10-7 lead over Luke Fickle and Wisconsin heading to the brink.
Minnesota fans getting crunk. See that?
That's awesome.
That's Minnesota crunk.
A return from the 5. This is...
You know, I really like this call going with Simmons, because when Carter Smith was in there, yes, he gives you the opportunity to run, but just a couple missed opportunities down the field that Carter Smith wasn't able to connect on in that first half.
It's held on to by Simmons. He can do a little bit of running himself. Picks up 4 on the opening play.
You know, we talk about the difficulty in playing in conditions like this if you're a defender, and it's an age-old adage about the offensive players knowing where they're going, the defensive players not, and they're reacting to what the offensive players are doing. When a quarterback like Hunter Simmons takes off, it may not be the runner that Carter Smith is, but it's just hard for those guys to get their footing and react to make the play.
Second down. Simmons to throw. Has the protection. Fires down the seam into double coverage. That was nearly intercepted by Coy Parrish, looking for Vinny Anthony downfield. Third and 6. Simmons scans right, delivers over the middle. Vinny Anthony on a second effort crawls across the line to gain. It moves the chains. 86 yards now on the day on 3 catches for Anthony. He had the big 67-yarder right before halftime. Simmons batted and intercepted. Minnesota's got it. Starting at the plus 43, it's John Nestor. Minnesota also has Ashton Beers, the center. I think that's all the main team as well. Third time the Gophers start in Wisconsin territory today, but it's only resulted in 3 total points. Play action, Lindsay rolling right, scans with a ton of protection, throws it behind his receiver Brockington, who could not pull it in.
Which is pretty incredible considering they had lost 14 in a row at one point.
From 04 through 2017. Taylor bouncing right side. Wisconsin's defense is stout again up front. With the exception of one explosive run for Taylor today, this Wisconsin defense has been really solid against the run. Third and 10. Lindsay, flush left, right into a defender. Has to get rid of the football and throws it incomplete. It's 4th and long. Darrell Peterson had the pressure in on Lindsay to force the incompletion.
Rather than try and force the ball and turn that thing back over, wise decision throwing that one away.
So the 3 Gopher drives that have started in Wisconsin territory have only resulted in points 1 time, and that was a field goal. Short punt that bounces near the 20. It's Hunter Simmons, still the backup quarterback, in for his 2nd consecutive drive. Handoff, Jackson Aker, who had the touchdown catch right before halftime, gets a 2nd push for about 2, maybe 3 yards to open the drive.
Devin Eastern right here in Shakopee, or at least not too far away. You know, a guy that grew up knowing about this rivalry and how special it is. But you're right, it was a nice job breaking through the tackle that time, and this Minnesota defense playing an opponent's backfield so often this season.
Top 10 in the country in tackles for loss and sacks. Fake the handoff. Simmons rolling right, delivers a pass. It's caught. And right near the marker, about a yard shy. It's Tucker Ashcraft, the tight end.
Line up as a fullback as he is right now, as a true tight end. such a versatile player. I think they hand it to him.
They do. Great call. Leaping forward, he's got the first down. Right on the money, Robert. Let's go.
Trade shift motion like you see right here, changing up looks and getting defenses off balance.
High snap. Simmons play action. Parrish with the pressure, delivers a strike. It's caught. Lance Mason, the tight end, tumbling down near the 45, and that's enough for a first down.
What your keys are, and a lot of false reads, false keys, trying to get defenders looking the wrong way.
Fake the handoff, screen pass. It's Anthony with a block in front of him, and he gets twisted down to the ground across midfield for 6.
So one of the defectors went to the other side in the battle.
Oh, high snap again. Simmons just corrals it off a deflection, lets it rip. Oh, pass is caught. Lance Mason again. Hunter Simmons, what a play from the quarterback to keep that ball up. Fake, it's an end around. Kekahuna's dropped in the backfield. John Nestor, he's been everywhere tonight. Second and long, give, Dupree, and he's just clipped down at the 20 by Parrish. Big impact in defense and special teams, a little bit of offense too. Third down, Simmons with protection, and it's intercepted. John Nestor's second pick of the day. Foot race down the sideline to the 20 before he's dropped. John Nestor has been spectacular today.
That's just awesome. You know, to be able to do something like that in the rivalry games, there's just nothing like it.
5 on the season now for John Nestor. He missed last week, and what a glaring miss that was. Lindsey rolling right, fires back left, completes a pass on the sideline, and it's Jamison Gears who slips one before he goes out of bounds.
Well, I'd like to say yes, you're supposed to, but I'm sure they'd be happy with any kind of points.
Yeah.
You want to be able to end the drive successfully, especially in the red zone with some points.
And the football off, Darius Taylor. He's got a touchdown earlier today, picks up just 1 yard.
Well, we saw earlier in the game, we saw this Badger defense. Quick change, missed field goal. Didn't give up any points on that turnover earlier in the game. And these guys really have been the lifeblood of this team that has struggled so much offensively this season. And these guys, like, just watch them on film, especially over the last few weeks. They're just playing with their hair on fire, just absolutely physical and relentless.
3rd and 7. Lindsey floats it back in the end zone, caught Jamison Gears. Touchdown Gophers, and a snow angel to celebrate. That is Jamison Gears after the touchdown catch. That's down on the ground too for the Gophers. After his 13-yard touchdown catch to make it a 2-score game again.
You know, sometimes you get the adrenaline flowing, especially after a touchdown, not really thinking about what's happened, and then kind of feel a twinge. He's getting a little bit of help off the field, but he's putting weight on that thing. It's a good sign. So it was a fullback for the Vikings back in the late 60s. 22 degrees. It's not real Minnesota cold. Like, I think I'm still Minnesota ready for, you know, this type of weather, but I'm not.
Dallas has worn off on you, apparently. Wisconsin down 10 after the touchdown from Jamison Gears, and this is Cade Giacomelli on the return across the 30.
Earlier in the first half, Carter Smith had some opportunities to make some connections downfield and just wasn't able to make them, but Hunter Simmons has got to make better decisions.
7 interceptions in 5 games played now for Simmons after the 2 today. Gives the football to Aker, who gets a nice block. And Aker with a powerful run down to the 45. He picks up 12 to move the chains. Aker is more of a tight end slash fullback now, but he came into Wisconsin as a running back. So he has those natural abilities to run the football, and they use him in a bunch of different ways. On first down, it's Dupree, and he is slammed to the ground after no gain.
This isn't a true play action type look, but play action may be the call here soon.
Simmons gives the football off to Dupree, and Dupree runs into the official, spins away, and stays on his feet down to the 35. Now, Jeff Grimes said he's all about those dirty yards. He'll get you 2 or 3 extra, but he got about 10 extra on that one. End around, and the Jets sweep and swung to the ground. Tyrell Henry had no space. That Minnesota defense played it perfectly. Second and long. Here's the play action you talked about. Simmons with a lot of time, zips it to the near sideline, and it's caught by Tucker Ashcraft.
With all that space with Anthony, you got to at least check as a QB.
On third and long, hand the football off to Dupree, who spins out of a tackle, and a stop made by John Nestor. Who else would it be? Bertram's to punt. They use him in these short yardage situations, and it worked to perfection. Touched up at the 2.
In sync. Tremendous job, partners. You called it. Pinning this Gopher offense. QB sneak.
Instead, it's a handoff. Taylor, a bit of breathing room, picked up a yard or 2. A bit more space. He and the Gophers are headed to a fourth quarter 2-possession lead here in the snow. That's scary.
It's just a cool trophy.
Backed up against their own goal line. It's a handoff to Darius Taylor, bouncing off of the tackler, and a push down to the 6-yard line. It is third and about 5 coming up for Minnesota. Ball came out, but said that he was ruled down just before. Stays third down.
And get another shot at posing the true freshman linebacker, part of that duo of excellent true freshman linebackers with Catalano. Big third down here. All kinds of space.
Lindsey to throw from his own end zone, drops it off on a check down to Bibber, who's planted immediately, and it's fourth down.
And sometimes you just want to make those quick decisions, and he's lined up here for the punt.
Does boot it away, and a nice one too. Has Tyrell Henry retreating back. He lets it hop out of bounds. Still pretty solid field position for Wisconsin, just outside of their own 45 after a 48-yard punt.
We've seen him make so many big plays today.
4 tackles for loss today for this Minnesota defense, but as Robert just said, it's been more about the turnovers. 2 interceptions and a fumble today. Dupree with the carry, 3 yards, and Baranowski, the linebacker, comes in to make the hit. Second and 7. Dupree spinning away from one, but he got stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. On a 3rd and 7, Simmons wanting to throw, scans right the whole way, and it is incomplete. One in Kekahuna, but it's fourth down.
The difficulty of defenders and the breaks that they can get on footballs, if you throw that thing as soon as he comes open, that's first down.
Sean West has to punt it away, the 5th today for the Badgers. It takes a bounce and stops at the 18.
Even in this era with all the changes, NIL and everything, tradition is still special.
Lindsay to throw on a crossing route. It's caught by Brockington. Spins away from a tackler, and he's across the 35 for a big play on the first play of the drive.
He's making big strides.
Called him an elite studier. He said that kid is in the building nonstop, watching film, doing whatever he can to get better. Looks to throw here on the check down to Taylor, who's planted at the 40 for 3 yards.
Former Gopher quarterback is going to be getting his first start for the Vikings this week against the former quarterback for the Vikings, Sam Darnold. Drake Lindsay learned a lot from him.
Hands the football off to Ijaboy, bouncing left side, and Ijaboy carries the defense with him just shy of midfield to move the chains. Yeah, you beat me to it. I was going to say, with the snow and the slippery conditions, to be able to do that is impressive from Ijaboy. They'll hand it off to him one more time, and Ijaboy is ripped to the ground across midfield by Mason Posa, the linebacker, with back-to-back stops.
Get into those heavy run sets, especially when you've got Bierman, your tight end, in the game. Go heavy play action and get a shot downfield.
It's a second down give to Taylor after he spent the last couple plays on the bench, and he picks up just a yard before Parker Peterson is there for Wisconsin. It's a 3rd and 6. Lindsay to his tight end, Gears. And Gears is stacked up about 2, maybe 3 yards shy of the marker. Tyrell Henry lets it bounce, and it goes out of bounds near that 10-yard line. There is a flag to check on.
Wisconsin will take over first down, 10 yards to go at their own 10-yard line.
Looks like that's going to be on Wisconsin.
Illegal formation. Portland 4 in the backfield on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. 4th down.
Tom Weston to punt it away. There's a little bit of a shorter punt, and Henry calls for the fair catch around the 12. Up 2 scores. Hunter Simmons and Wisconsin pinned back at their own 11 to start the drive. Fakes the handoff. Simmons pumps, now takes the check down. It's caught. Eugene Hilton, the son of longtime Indianapolis Colts wide receiver T.Y. Hilton's first grab.
See more of this trade shift motion. Watch for some misdirection here. Play action.
His play action caught by Anthony. Oh, he dropped it. 3rd and 5. Simmons surveys, has protection, now tucks the football and runs, and he takes a hit near the 21 by Maverick Baranowski, and he is just short. 4th and 1. Aker and Dupree in the backfield. Play clock under 5.
No, they're not going to do it.
They do snap it. Dupree, first down, and still up, and finally swung to the ground near the 27.
And they're just trying to draw that defense off. But with the limited number of possessions and down 10, they figured they needed to go on 4th.
Simmons stepping up, eluding pressure. Takes it himself, and he runs out of bounds for a nice gain of about 7 yards. You were right when you said Wisconsin doesn't have a lot of time here, but huddling up there, they're taking a lot of time off the play clock here. Simmons to throw on 2nd down, zips it over the middle to Brooks. Bouncing off one tackler, and he gets pushed across midfield down to the 47.
Team reps even had this week.
They go quickly on the pace, and that pass is caught. 2nd and short. Simmons wisely gets rid of the football. Clock stops with 3:24 to go. It's 3rd and 1.
Intentional grounding, offense number 15. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. It includes a loss of down, third down.
Right before the snap, play is blown dead. I don't think anybody on the field knows it. Ooh.
Defensive.
Prior to the ball being snapped, timeout, Minnesota, their first of the half. It will be 30. Timeout on the field.
Minnesota gets the timeout. And
Battle for the axe here in Minneapolis, and Minnesota is 3:24 away from retaining it for yet another year. Caught. Kakahuna dropped immediately after he pulled it in by Gooseby. The defense was about 30 yards downfield celebrating, and they
Charge
realized
timeout, Minnesota, their second of the half.
all or nothing.
need this here. Simmons on 4th and 11. Has time, fires. Oh, big collision inside the 30, and it's incomplete. With 2:52 to go, Wisconsin does have all 3 timeouts left and the 2-minute timeout. Give to Darius Taylor. Oh, look at that powerful run. Carries a defender with him down to the 44. Do give to Taylor. Lowers the shoulder. He's got the first down. Darius Taylor, patient run behind that offensive line. He picks up 1, and Wisconsin will use the first of their 3 remaining timeouts.
Pretty much all on him.
This is Darius Taylor again. He's gone over 100 yards for the 3rd time this season. Luke Fickell takes another timeout. 3rd and long. They hand the football off to Javon Tracy, the wide receiver. He's across the 30. A first down. And waving goodbye as Javon Tracy says goodnight. PJ Fleck takes the timeout here for Minnesota.
They're running for Paul Bunyan's axe. Goldie's got it. Goldie can't see very well in that costume. You better be careful. Don't swing it, Goldie.
Fourth time in 5 years that Minnesota wins Paul Bunyan's axe. They keep it here in Minneapolis as PJ Fleck and company get it done 17-7 over Wisconsin.